Hello everyone, it's Erin again. I just thought I'd make a quick video today because it is the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's / Philosopher's Stone. I'm a massive Harry Potter fan, and Harry Potter has had a really big impact on my life. I didn't read it 20 years ago when it first was published. I read it a few years later. My mom bought this paperback of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone at a Scholastic book fair at my school. I didn't like to read, and I come from a family of readers, so they kind of despaired of me because I couldn't do it. Basically all that I read at that point, I was 11 years old, and I was reading Pokemon chapter books because it was the only thing that could really hold my interest. Reading wasn't my thing. So I remember the first time I picked up Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, it was actually because I didn't want to go to sleep, because I've always been a night owl. And so I was supposed to be asleep, I didn't want to be. The light was out in my room, and I had this pen that if you pushed it down, the tip, then the back lit up. So I read the first page by the light of that pen and decided that this book was super boring, and I put it away again. I actually don't remember reading the book for the first time, but I obviously did, and I loved it. I do remember, after reading it, just begging my mom for the second one, and it took her a while to get the second book for me. I don't think she really believed me that I needed it. I needed it. So I read the first book multiple times before we actually got Chamber of Secrets. And then a few months later, we got Prisoner of Azkaban, which was the last book that was out at the time. There was only 3. So I was going crazy. I was this 11-year-old 5th grader, and I was just going nuts. I needed more. I've always been kind of an obsessive fangirl, even before I was super into the internet and reading and fan fiction and all of that. So I remember one of the things that I did was I would put together Harry Potter quizzes and give them to my friends, mostly just to prove that I was a better fan than them if they couldn't answer. It was like easy questions or things that are super easy now. It was like, what were the names of the Marauders, their nicknames, like stuff like that. But back in 1999, that was cutting edge stuff. So I didn't get to go to the midnight release for the 4th book because my mom, I was in 6th grade, 12 years old, and my mom was like, hey, you're a bit too young, let's not do this. So we didn't. We got it the next day. I remember reading the first chapter of Goblet of Fire when I was in the car on the way home and being like, dubs TF, because the first chapter of Goblet of Fire is weird. It makes a lot of sense now, but when you're reading it for the first time and you're like, oh, Harry Potter, all you've read is the first 3 books, and you get to that one, it's like, huh? What came next might have been either the Sorcerer's Stone movie or Order of the Phoenix, the book. One of those came out when I was about 14, I think. So I did get to go to the midnight release of Order of the Phoenix, and I went in my Hermione costume, which was a legit costume because we cobbled it together from, things that we bought because we don't have talent in as far as like sewing and all of that. But it was pretty good. But they had released covers of the TV Guide covers when TV Guide was still a thing, with all of the kids, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, on them in their Hogwarts uniforms. We based it off of that, and it was a pretty legit costume. I'm still pretty proud of it to this day. And then from there on out, I just basically every time something Harry Potter related came out, I was there, including when the Deathly Hallows came out. I was 18 years old, and I was there at the midnight party with my sister, and I definitely cried, and it's had a big impact on my life. I grew up with it. And I know this is a story for a lot of people, especially a lot of people my age, but I started Harry Potter when I was 11, and it really did change my life because I did not like to read at all, and it just opened up this new world for me. I mean, I love to read now. I'm not sure if you see the bookcase behind me. This is not even all of the books I read, like not even close to it. I don't have enough room for all the books that I own, so yeah, they can't all live on the shelf. I work at a bookstore. I mean, I've read books and books and books, and my favorite genre is still like middle grade young adult fiction, because there's just something about it that's what captured me in reading, and there's just still something so fun, and I don't know, I can't think of what to say right now. When I was 11 years old, the last book came out when I was 18, so I was just about the same age as the characters. They grew up with me, the stories got more complex, and then the movies were coming out. The kids in the movies were the same age as me, which is hilarious now when I look back at it, because I remember being in middle school and thinking that all of the people in Chamber of Secrets, I was like so shocked because Hermione got hot and Draco got hot, and I was just like, I was obsessed with them. But looking back now, they're children. And I know that's just because I'm an adult now, but it's still weird because I'll think that, like, oh yeah, this movie, they got hot, and then I look back and I'm like, ugh, they're tiny, they're babies, no. But I'm just thinking of it as the mind of my 12-year-old self. It's a very strange situation. But I love that Harry Potter is still going strong. It's an amazing feeling just having something like this. This is probably the biggest fandom to ever like really affect me in any way. I mean, it's the reason I'm a part of any fandom. So I just wanted to share my Harry Potter story with you. I know everyone kind of has their own Harry Potter story. I'm still a Harry Potter fan. It's been a while since I've reread the books. But I read The Cursed Child when that came out last year. I saw Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and I liked it. It has issues, but I still really liked it, and I'm interested to see where that series goes. And yeah, so that's my Harry Potter story. Oh, I am a Hufflepuff, by the way. When I was younger, I never fell into that Gryffindors are the best thing. I was a Slytherin, is what I always said, and that was mostly because, one, I was competitive, and I'm very aggressive when I play games. 2, my favorite color is green, so that was part of it. And 3, my name is in Slytherin, so it was just kind of I guess I'll be this. But once Pottermore came out, I actually tested Hufflepuff, and since then I've done the Pottermore test a few times, and every single time is a different house. I've never gotten Gryffindor, just the other 3. I'm kind of a mix of everything. But yeah, I'm a proud Hufflepuff. I'll take it, because I know they get a lot of flack, so someone has to be proud of being a Hufflepuff. Me. Anyway, that's all for now, you guys. I just wanted to share my story. I'd love to hear your guys' Harry Potter story. Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell if you subscribe so you don't miss any updates. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, blah, 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 all of that stuff. Okay, and that's it. I'll have another video soon for you guys. Bye.